Now, these taillight guards are going to provide more protection than your average taillight guard in my opinion. These are going to be a two-piece guard that completely encase your factory taillight, again being a little bit stronger. However, the argument of a taillight guard transferring an impact into the tub, causing a much more expensive repair rather than just breaking a taillight, is still in play here. So if you subscribe to that mentality, a taillight guard is not going to be for you. Today we're going to talk through the installation of these taillight guards, which is a pretty simple 1 out of 3 wrench install. It is a little bit more involved than some of the other taillight guard installs because this is a two-piece guard, but even so you'll be able to get this done in under an hour, and it's a very simple install, and we'll talk more through that in just a second. Now, because these are Rugged Ridge's new Elite series of a taillight guard, these are going to be a very high quality material. They're going to be a slightly different design visually than a lot of the other taillight guards out there on the market, and they're also going to be a little bit more expensive. So if you're willing to pay a little bit more for this design and for some additional protection, these are going to be a good option. So these taillight guards are going to be made of a cast aluminum material as opposed to the mild steel of a lot of the other taillight guards out there. A lot of other taillight guards are just going to be sort of a bent piece of vertical or horizontal slats that will get bolted or even 3M'd onto your taillights, and these are going to be a lot more substantial. Again, this is going to be a two-piece design, so there's a section that goes behind that factory taillight, then your taillight goes in the center, and then the outer piece gets bolted on that. So you really are encasing all of that plastic in aluminum, which should in theory protect that taillight a little bit better. Because this is a three-piece design, there's a little bit more to the install, but again, it's going to be very simple, and Rugged Ridge includes everything you need. So like I said before, the install of these taillight guards is going to be a pretty simple 1 out of 3 wrench install that you should be able to get done in less than an hour. The first step is going to be completely removing your taillights from your Jeep. So there are a couple of screws you'll have to remove, and then unplug the wiring harness to get that taillight off of the Jeep. Finally, there's a small piece of plastic trim from the back of the taillight that you'll need to remove before you can go on with the rest of the install. After that, you'll set the taillight on the back piece of your taillight guard, put the front piece of the taillight guard over top of that. Go ahead and plug the taillight back into the Jeep and put your taillight guard with the taillight inside of it back into the tub. You'll have to fit one side in first and then the other side. Finally, you'll use the hardware that's included in the kit to get everything bolted up. Again, a little bit more involved than some of the other taillight guard installs because these are a little bit more substantial, but still something easy that anyone can do in their driveway. These taillight guards are going to run you right around $140, which is certainly going to be more expensive than a lot of the other ones on the market. However, a lot of the other taillight guards out there are just going to be an appearance mod. They're not going to offer any protection at all. These will offer some protection to your taillight. Now again, whether you subscribe to the mentality that this is going to transfer damage into the tub or whether you think that these are going to offer protection is completely up to you, but these will definitely better help protect your plastic taillight than a lot of the other guards on the market. These are also going to be made of a higher quality aluminum material, so you're not going to end up with any rust like you would with a mild steel taillight guard. So all of those things make them worth the additional cost, in my opinion. So if you're looking for a taillight guard as a standalone piece or as a package of light guards on your JK to set it apart from the pack, make it look a little bit different, and also to protect your taillights when you're on the trail, I think this is going to be a very high quality option. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than some of the others, but I do like the design and the higher quality materials. So that's my review of the Rugged Ridge Elite taillight guards fitting your 2007 and up JK that you can find right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.